You know, I feel like Gemini being ruled by Mercury, like it makes a big ass difference in those mood swings because Mercury takes in a lot of information, particularly for Gemini. For Virgo, it's the slower side of Mercury that focuses on one thing and a lot of the details, whereas for Gemini, it's all the information everywhere coming at you. And so I want people to understand that when you are getting all this information, how could your mood not change? Hey guys, it's your girl Sarah.
And Maya.
And we're charmed and dangerous.
You know, because we're Gemini.
And we dangerous. Okay, it's Gemini season. One of my favorite reasons why Gemini season is the best season is because it's dangerous season too.
It is.
Like with Aries, it's like that energy.
Uh-huh.
What's gonna happen? Nobody knows.
No.
And you know, curiosity killed the cat. But
Yeah.
the cat also had fun.
So much fun while this
Dying.
happened.
Yeah.
You know, living their best life. And I feel
Living
like that's
it
true Gemini like energy, really.
Yeah. But did you die?
But did you die?
No.
Did you have fun? I bet you did.
We're here for a good time, not a long time, you know.
Okay.
Alright, well, we know why you're here, so let's just get started, right?
Yes.
If y'all don't know, we have a whole series. We talk about each sign's most toxic trait.
Mm-hmm.
It's Gemini's turn.
Yep.
So before you get mad, if this is your first time experiencing this, we're doing it for every sign. We're not just coming for you specifically. Even though you're Gemini and you don't care.
Right.
Right? Okay, so me and Maya are gonna tell y'all what quality we pick that is the most toxic for Gemini, and sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we pick the same one, sometimes we don't. We don't talk about it before this very moment.
We do not.
All right, Maya, what'd you pick?
I picked Gemini's mood swings as their most toxic trait.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I picked their restlessness.
Oh.
But I will say,
Yeah.
literally not even a minute, like 2 minutes ago, I tweeted, "So moody, you'd think I was a Cancer, but really I'm a Gemini moon." So the fact that you said that,
That's on point.
I just feel a little bit red.
On
like
point.
the universe is kind of trying to,
Yeah,
like,
just saying something.
yeah, intervene. It's an intervention for me. It's fine. I know I'm moody. So. My thing with Gemini's restlessness, and every time I'm talking, it's like I'm talking to myself because I'm a Gemini moon. And your moon sign in astrology is how you operate, like in terms of your emotions. So it's very personal stuff.
Yeah.
So I am gonna be considering myself in this video because I be doing this shit too.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
feel like this can apply to Sun, Moon, Rising.
yeah, I would say
Yeah.
Venus. Like honestly,
Yeah.
if it's in your chart and it hits, it hits.
Right. It applies.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I just feel like Geminis, I want y'all to sit with your thoughts for a bit. Like just for a bit. Like what are you so afraid of? That's the thing. I feel like they're so scared. We're so scared of what might come up that we're just on to the next one. Like some ideas and thoughts deserve more than 2 minutes of your time.
Right.
But because you're always moving on to the next, it's almost like you're running from something. We're running from something. And I wholeheartedly feel like it's true because if a thought or feeling makes me feel uncomfortable, I can easily distract myself with something else.
Yeah.
And that's where this restless energy becomes dangerous rather than like, oh, they're just restless. It's like, well, okay, that's cute and all, like you're just restless, you know, you like to keep yourself busy, but it becomes a problem when you really just don't make the time to think about why you're feeling this way and where this thought is coming from. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, and when Geminis get in this way, like, and they're doing this, it can get to that really toxic level
Of not at all
addressing-
thinking about yourself
Exactly.
too. You know, you have no sense of self-awareness.
Yes.
Because you're just restless and you just go with the flow all the time. On to
Right.
the next, let's go.
It's like you're purposely distracting yourself. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But like it happens for so long, Gemini almost starts to believe it themselves.
Yeah.
And that's like crazy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That is like toxic for you guys because you do have a lot of thoughts and feelings, and when you don't address them and stuff or sit with them on your own and think about really ingesting it, you know what I mean? Like it's going to
Sit
have
with it.
negative effects on your other relationships.
Absolutely. Now back to shitting on Gemini.
Back to our regular scheduled programming. My most toxic trait for Gemini, like I said, is their mood swings. And I feel like, to me, Geminis really are the sweetest bitches you'll ever meet. You guys! And I mean this.
Bitch you'll ever meet.
Yes, because like I feel like they really are so sweet. They're so friendly. You're like their best friend in the entire world. And then all of a sudden, it's like, bam, you're public enemy number one. You know what I mean? And I personally have been victimized by a Gemini when they've ripped me to shreds when they just weren't in the mood. And I came in, you know, all happy jolly like my little Sagittarius self, and they were just not in the mood. And it's really scary when a Gemini is not in the mood, you know? And it's very jarring because normally they're like down.
Yeah, it's like that tap in and out of the two twins.
Exactly.
Gemini has.
Truly, it's like they're very much like a Sour Patch Kid of like, you know, they're sweet and they're sour or whatever emotion they're switching
And they're sometimes
to.
gone.
Yeah, and sometimes they're gone. Truly. Truly. The perfect version of like a Sour Patch Kid. Because, yeah, I mean, it seems like to us actually that they're going from 0 to 100 really quick, but they've probably processed things so quickly.
Oh yeah.
That it seems like really jarring to us, but it's not really jarring to them. So I want to, you know, take a step back for that. But for other people, I'm not you, Gemini. You know what I mean? It comes off very like, whoa, you like switched up real quick.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to always handle that. So that's why I personally feel like it's one of your most toxic traits. Because I don't know how to like deal with you in that moment.
Yeah.
You know, and Geminis love to communicate, so they're still trying to talk.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
how do I navigate this?
Yes.
Yeah, I totally see that. And I feel like Gemini being ruled by Mercury, like it makes a big ass difference in those mood swings because Mercury takes in a lot of information, particularly for Gemini. For Virgo, it's the slower side of Mercury that focuses on one thing and a lot of the details, whereas for Gemini, it's all the information everywhere coming at you. And so I want people to understand that when you are getting all this information, how could your mood not change?
No, 100%.
You know what I mean? But you have to get a grasp on it. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Yes, we can blame it on Mercury. Mercury's always taking in new information. When you're taking in that much information, your mood is bound to change. But also, you need to be able to ground yourself so this information, this new information doesn't change your mood so often throughout the day. You know?
Yeah.
You need to be more grounded, which brings me to my point of being restless. You know, at the end of the day, we are on this earth for a human experience. Grounding yourself is important because it really helps you understand why you're experiencing the reality you're experiencing. When you ground yourself, you can take some ownership in terms of what's happening to you and how you want to live life. Gemini has a really hard time doing that because they're not grounded. They're just going with the flow and nothing sticks because you're not grounding yourself. You know, this restless energy, like I said, is really fun and spontaneous. And honestly, Gemini is a fucking hoot and a half to be around. But at the end of the day, they're also that same person that around people, they're so happy. But then they go home and they take off the clown mask and they're like, I'm actually really sad. And it's really hard for Geminis to show people when they're feeling sad because they're almost embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
Because they're so used to being happy and putting on a good front.
Yeah.
But you need to get comfortable grounding yourself.
Yes.
So you don't feel embarrassed by negative emotions. You know?
And I feel like just because you can process things so quickly doesn't mean that you should. You know what I mean? Just because you're really good at it doesn't mean that you should be holding up 10 plates at the same time.
Yeah.
Like Sarah said, it really is important to ground yourself in one thing or a couple of things. You know what I mean? Because you are such a good multitasker, you can still ground yourself in a couple of things, Gemini.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't think that you're all of a sudden stuck because you're grounding yourself in something.
Yeah.
It can be, like I said, just because you're really good at processing all of these things really quickly doesn't mean that you should always be challenging yourself to do that. Because it's tiring.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, you feel like you have to take off that mask and you're like, fuck, like, I always have to put on this front for people. I'm tired. Like, maybe you feel like you can't really show your true emotions. And that's not fair. That's not fair to you.
It's really not. And to just tie it back, I also feel like you're restless because you're trying to one-up your last experience. You know what I mean? You almost put this pressure on yourself to entertain the people around you. And let's be honest, yourself. You love entertaining yourself. But what's a moment of silence going to do? Is it going to kill you? Like, let there be a moment of silence. Like, it is okay. It is okay. I promise it's okay.
Yes, I feel like Geminis need meditation the most, but they would have such a hard time like sitting down and getting the practice started.
I, as a Gemini moon, have started meditating within the past 2 years, and I've been able to do it. Now, if they were to like test my brain, am I focused the whole time? No. But have I gotten better? Yes. That's what practice does.
Yeah.
It grounds you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sets you up better to have conversations with other people.
Absolutely.
That's the other thing, a part of this. You know what I mean? Like when Gemini isn't then grounded, you're not prepared to go out and have other conversations and do these other things with people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because you're like spread so thin. Back to Gemini's mood swings. You were kind of touching on it earlier, like in my last point. I feel like Gemini's mood swings are really confusing to me, obviously, because like I said, I don't know how to be around you in that moment. You know, it's like Gemini is roasting me and I'm kind of laughing. I'm like, wait though, hold on. You're roasting me, are you mad?
Or is this funny?
Or is this funny? Like I'm having a hard time telling, you know? And it is.
I'm here to tell you it's both.
Gemini is switching so fast that it can be both. Like maybe 1 second they're pissed at you and they said a really sassy, like fucked up lie.
Yeah.
And then they're like, haha, but like we're still buddies. Like we're still having a great time.
Hey, buddy.
And you're like, bro, like what? Like other people have a hard time processing all of those feelings and emotions that quickly, you know?
Yeah.
And like Sarah said, I completely understand where this is coming from, you know? Like Geminis have very overly active minds and they're always picking up energies from other people and their surroundings and picking up new information. So of course it's going to be hard to separate yourself from that energy, especially when you gravitate to it. You know what I mean? Like we're just talking about too how you love experiences and to like talk to new people. So like of course you're going to gravitate to it. You know what I mean? But you have to know how to separate that from yourself. Otherwise you're always going to seem toxic and like low-key like a two-faced to people. You know what I mean? I feel like personally this is why actually people call Geminis two-faced, is because of their mood swings. I don't think it's because they're always like changing their opinions necessarily. I think it's really because of their mood swings in my personal opinion.
I would say I agree with yours, but I also think in terms of their opinions, they do that shit too, because when Mercury takes in new information, they change their minds. Yeah. They have that duality within them that is able to see both sides very clearly. For sure. And I think that's another reason why people think Geminis are two-faced.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I just feel like I would never call them two-faced for that, but I would call them two-faced for their mood swings. You know what I mean? Because I feel like classically people do say they're two-faced for always switching up their opinions, but to me that doesn't bother me. I feel like they have big brains. You know, like I like that they're adaptable.
Sag. Yeah. I think that's why you enjoy it.
Yeah.
For other people that aren't Sages or air signs, they wouldn't understand that as well as you do.
Fair.
Okay, now I'm gonna hit you with something that might hurt. You know, we are evolving and we are growing. And we know, Gemini, you love changing your opinion. So change your opinion about yourself. Yeah, I just also want to say that Gemini placements, your restlessness also adds to your lack of self-discipline and follow-through. You're always bored, but your boredom causes you to drop everything prematurely. It really does. I know y'all want to be good at everything, but a jack of all trades is a master of none. So I need you to pick something and stick with it once in a while. Once in a while. I'm not saying be the same person forever because that scares the fuck out of you, but try to stick with something once in a while. But because you're so restless, you're like, okay, now this, okay, now this. I want you to ground yourself. Like, I'm going to keep coming back to that. Find a way to ground yourself, because I just feel like at the end of the day, you can get a lot done if you are able to stop running with the wind. You know what I mean? You know, apply that energy. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like running from shit. I'm like, what are, no one's chasing you. What are you running from? Like it's like people call Sag the one that runs. Gemini, you're there too. You're running too. We don't know what you're running from.
Maybe they're running from Sag because they're chasing them too.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Yeah, and I just feel like obviously Gemini is so smart, and we love Gemini for their intellectual ways, but your inability to focus makes you really hard to talk to about deep things. The interruptions and funny jokes are cute, until I'm opening up to you about my trauma. Like, I don't want that when I'm talking to you about something that's really important.
Ooh.
You know, I'm being real. Like, learn to be quiet sometimes so you can learn more about the people around you. Sometimes your restless energy makes you seem full of yourself, as if you're the only person who has an interesting story and life.
Oh my gosh, guys, I was looking all around because she just read you, and I was a little uncomfortable. And it's so true. It's so...
I'm a Gemini moon. You
true.
can't come for me.
Like, I you know, y'all...
I don't know what to say.
No, I don't know what to say. It's facts. And I feel like sometimes Geminis, like, they get too lost in the moment sometimes when someone else is telling a story specifically, like, you're trying to express your feelings.
Yeah.
And Gemini's like, oh, it's just story time. And they start to take it off and they're like,
yeah,
no, I'm actually trying to open up to you. But
yeah.
your restless energy can't sit on feelings for too long, low-key. It makes you uncomfortable.
So you're like, oh, okay, you're not here to tell a story.
Right, let's move on to the next. Let's kind of change the subject.
No.
And no, like, be grounded in the moment. Be grounded for that person.
Yeah.
If you can't, you know what I mean? At least in that moment. And you're right. Like, I feel like it's hard for them to kind of pick one thing to stick to. But, you know, maybe do it for a month. Start small. For a week.
One,
you know what I mean?
One conversation. One conversation in your day. Let's not even take it too far. One conversation, let it be about the other person.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're just like so into yourself, like you just want to share information so much, but that restless energy, someone will take that in the wrong way and think that you don't care.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is always true. It's just Mercury is doing its number on you.
Okay. Another reason why I feel like their mood swings is, again, one of their most toxic traits is because I feel like it turns their greatest weapon, that mouth, into
that mouth. What that mouth do?
It turns that mouth into a freaking weapon.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? I feel like Gemini, when Gemini isn't in the mood, they're seriously going to annihilate you with their words.
But it's
with
just
their words, with information. Like, it's over and done for the other person. And you think, wow, like, does Gemini even like me? Or does Gemini even care about what I'm saying? But it's, again, also confusing because I feel like Gemini gets over things really quickly, you know?
And they expect you to get over it too.
Exactly.
Which doesn't always happen, Gemini.
No.
Just because you get over it doesn't mean other people will. You just fucking roasted the fuck out of them.
Right. And then on top of that, I feel like when you try and approach them about it, because I feel like Gemini, like you were saying earlier, can get a little embarrassed when they've done wrong, but somebody, you know, let's say another sign wants to come and address it. I feel like other people are kind of scared because, one, they don't know which twin they're talking to.
No, they don't.
You know, it's like,
are you gonna be lighthearted or are you gonna again roast my ass?
Right. Who am I gonna get? You know, and I just want to remind Geminis ultimately, like, I feel like you guys do this because you're scared to share your feelings or to, like, that you always have to be like the fun person. And I just want to remind you that if you share your feelings more regularly, it doesn't feel as much like pressure and it won't be as like
a one-off thing.
Yeah, it's so scary when you do like flip and have that mood switch on people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like express actually that maybe you always have these mood swings and then we can adjust accordingly. You know what I mean?
Just talk to Cancer and learn something from them.
Yes!
We accept Cancer for their crazy mood swings.
Totally.
We can accept yours too.
Yeah.
Just be honest.
Alright, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode on Gemini's most toxic trait. We hope you liked it, even though we were kind of like getting on y'all. We hopefully
I hope you laughed.
Yeah, I hope you laughed a little bit. Or, you know, if you're like not a Gemini and you're watching this, I hope you appreciated it because like you saw it in your Gemini friends, your lovers, or family members. So comment down below, let us know if you agree.
Send this to your Gemini friends, lovers, co-workers, toxic bosses, mother, father, whoever. Honestly, do it. We will tell them what you are too afraid to.
Yes, we'll tell them about themselves. Okay.
Get a thing.
We're gonna link our socials somewhere around here. We post our YouTube videos every Monday and Thursday, and our podcast every Friday. Okay.
All right.
We love you.
Loves ya.
Bye.
Bye.